All right, who's ready for some rivalry baseball? Yankees, Red Sox, the kind of matchup that makes sports books sweat. And tonight, the betting splits are going absolutely wild. This one isn't just a game, it's a war between the public and the books, and we're diving straight into it. Welcome back to the channel. This is Split Labs, where we break down the best bets, sharp money angles, and give you data-driven insights every single day. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and check out splitlabs.net. All the data I'm showing you on screen is live right there. And if you want a discount, promo code YouTube gets you 50% off your first month. Game 1, Red Sox Yankees in New York. First pitch at 7:06 Eastern, but here's the thing. We're reviewing this data at midnight. So this is the really early action, the opening reads, and that's when you can get the sharpest edges. By the time first pitch comes around, these numbers could swing completely different. That's why you got to sign up for the site to get the most up-to-date data before the lineups drop and the money floods in. Boston sitting at 69.59, Yankees at 69.58, neck and neck in the standings. Books open Yankees as the clear favorite at -174, Red Sox is the dog at +146. But the splits? They're wild. Money line, 96% of bets on Boston, only 4% on New York. And then on the money, same story, 96% of the handle riding Red Sox. Spread, Boston +1.5, pulling 96% of tickets, 99% of money. Total, 8.5, overslammed with 96% of bets, 99% of money. This is the definition of a public hammer spot. The entire world wants Boston tonight. But here's the reality. The Yankees just lost to the Red Sox last night, and this is the exact bounce back spot we love to target. Books aren't moving off that -174, even with all this Boston money pouring in. That tells me all I need to know. And you know what happens when we see these kinds of splits? One of two things. Either the public cashes big, or the sports books laugh all the way to the bank. Books aren't budging, and that's always worth paying attention to. So what's the play? We're planting the flag, Yankees money line, fade the public, trust the books, and bank on New York to respond after dropping one to Boston yesterday. The over's tempting with how juiced it is, but we're keeping it simple here. Yankees bounce back, Yankees win. That's game 1. Yankees, Red Sox, a rivalry with the betting markets absolutely juiced up. I'll break down more matchups in just a second, but let me know in the comments, are you riding with the public on Boston, or are you taking the contrarian side with New York? Drop your best bet below.
Real quick, if you're into breakdowns like this, you'll love what we've got going on at splitlabs.net. We track public betting splits across every sport. NBA, MLB, NFL, you name it. Plus matchup insights, team rankings, and even prop predictors to help you spot edges before the lines move. This isn't just picks. It's the same data the books are using to set prices, and we make it easy to read and actually use. You can try it free for 7 days, and if you like it, use code YouTube for 50% off your first month. No BS, no sportsbook affiliation, just clean, transparent data for smarter betting. All right, back to the breakdown.
Next up, we've got the Nationals taking on the Phillies in Philly. Washington sitting at 52 and 75, Philly cruising at 74 and 53, and the books have the Phillies laying about -166 on the money line. Win probabilities sitting 59% Phillies, 41% Nats. But here's where it gets fun. Money line bets, 90% of tickets on Philly, just 10% on Washington. Spread, total, opposite story. 67% of the money is on the Phillies. Oh wait, nope, not so fast. Check this, 97% of the money is actually stacked on the Nationals, +1.5 spread right now. That's sharp money. That's not public $20 parlays. That's somebody in a suit pressing buttons with 7 figures behind it. So what do they know? Like, who in the Washington bullpen suddenly learned how to throw a curveball? Did Soto sneak back into the lineup from the Mets and nobody told us? Did Bryce Harper agree to play for both teams tonight? Something's up, because when you see less than half the tickets but almost all of the money stacked on one side, that's usually not an accident. Somebody's cooking, because this kind of split, tiny percentage of bets, huge percentage of money, is usually a dead giveaway the sharps are stepping in. And I'm not saying you need to tail Washington here, but let's just say when the guy in the corner of the sports book who only speaks in half smiles and wire transfers moves in on a game, you pay attention. We're following the money here. Official play, Washington plus 1.5. Sharp action screaming that the Nats can keep this close, and when the suits line up this heavy, you don't ignore it. Sometimes you just have to tip your cap and ride with them, right? All right, before we jump into the last game, quick pause. If you're sitting here thinking, man, I wish I had this data for every single matchup on the slate, you can. All of it's up at splitlabs.net. Every side, every total, every bet split is updated all the way up to first pitch, so you're never betting blind. Also, weekend's coming up. What's the move? Anybody hitting the ballpark, tailgates? Or are we all just glued to the TV, sweating run lines? Let me know in the comments. I'm always curious how you guys spend game days. Now, let's close it out with Royals versus Tigers in Detroit. KC sitting at 66 and 62, Tigers at 76 and 53, and the books have Detroit at minus 158 on the money line. Win probability is close too, 53% Tigers, 47% Royals. The splits tell the story. Money line, 79% of bets on Detroit, 21% on KC. Money basically matches. 75% Tigers, 25% Royals. Spread, 78% of bets and 79% of the money on Detroit minus 1.5. Almost nobody wants KC here. Total, 8.5. Over is slammed with 60% of bets and 90% of the money. Sharps and public seem to agree. Runs are coming. So this one's interesting. Everyone's lined up on Detroit, but KC's no pushover. They're right in the mix for wildcard positioning, and the value is clearly shaded to them. Meanwhile, that over 8.5 looks like the one thing both sides actually agree on. But here's the thing. In 4 of the last 5 matchups between these two teams, the under has cashed. Every time the market screams runs are coming, history quietly steps in and says, not so fast. And honestly, who are we to oppose history? Sometimes the best bet isn't chasing the noise, it's sticking with the trend that keeps paying. Official play, under 8.5. Yeah, the money's stacked on the over, but the track record between these teams is too strong to ignore. We ride the history, we ride the under. So there's your 3 best bets for tonight. Yankees MLS in the bounce back spot. Honestly, let's throw in Yankees 1.5 because we're feeling it. Nationals plus 1.5 riding with the Sharps. And Tigers Royals under 8.5 to close it out. Don't forget, all these reads come from the betting splits at splitlabs.net. Sign up, use promo code YouTube for 50% off your first month, and you'll have the data before the public even rolls out of bed. Drop your best bets in the comments. Let me know your weekend plans, and I'll catch you on the next one.